Hello, Facebook. How you doing? What's going on? Okay, let me share this out. Share to the group. All right, there we go. Okay, so we're all shared out on Facebook. Let's go to our Instagram. Da, da, da. Hey, Instagram. Okay, let me. You can have this. Could have alimony. Hey, but not my business name. Okay. All right, guys. Hello. Happy Thursday, guys. I'm back on. No wardrobe malfunctions tonight. I told you it was going to be a t-shirt and braids, and that's what you're getting. All right. I'm gonna give you guys some time to come in. I know Thursdays are a little lax. Y'all be at the bar or something. I don't know where y'all going. But it's okay. I'm gonna give y'all some time. Hi, Tri-State Media. How are you? Yes, guys, tonight we have some really cool stories. If you like podcasts, you're going to want, or if you have a podcast, you're going to want to tune in. If you are in business with your life partner, you're going to want to tune in. And also, if you also feel betrayed by Idris Elba and him marrying that girl, you're going to want to tune in. And we also have a quick update on Firefest and the Jenners, and a quick tidbit about the Instagram, well, not Instagram boutique because they're on the internet, but the swim line Icon Swim, because I just found out about this. Hey, Brandon, how are you? Hey. Thanks for tuning in early. Brandon, I feel like Thursday, everybody goes to like some magical bar in quarantine. Because Thursday's always kind of quiet, but it's cool. We've got some fun stories today. Can't wait to talk about them. How was your day, Brandon? Let me turn on the recording device. All right. I'm turning on my recording device. I've got all these things set up. Guys, next week I'm going to start broadcasting on StreamYard. I got my first taste of StreamYard because of Brandon. And I set up my account, so now I just got to hook everything up. It's going to allow me to broadcast on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope all at the same time. I used to do that with Lula, but it didn't really work. But I think StreamYard is going to work better. So I'm really excited about that. Next week, upgrades. Yeah. I'm glad you had a good day. All right. So we're going to get started in just 3 minutes. 3 minutes to run time. Make sure you tell your friends. Bring them on in. Like I said, we've got some cool stories. Brandon, do you like podcasts? We've got a really cool story about podcasts today. Also going to tell you how, my husband in my mind, Idris Elba, is betraying me yet again. No, It just hurts every time. The same wound. I'm just being silly. Okay, yeah, so you're gonna wanna listen to this. I love podcasts. I'm subscribed to like 40 of them. I particularly like comedy podcasts and audio dramas. Oh, my day was great. Thank you for asking. I got my work done. My sister got me an air fryer for my birthday. I used it for the first time today. I feel fancy. I had some nice crisp and juicy chicken. All right, we have 2 minutes to start time. 2 minutes. Yes. Dun, 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 dun. All right. Yes, I'm trying to entertain y'all. No wardrobe malfunctions tonight, Brandon. Oh, goodness. Last night had me cracking up all day. We are getting started very shortly, just about, a minute and a half, a minute and a quarter. Yes, all right. It is officially 1 minute. We're getting started in 1 minute. Let me write down this last one so I don't forget. Icons win. Okay. All right. La la la. La la la. You know, I try to do little dances to keep you guys entertained because I don't always want to talk all the time. But yeah, we're gonna get started soon. We have a good show happening today. All of our stories are pretty juicy and relevant to everyday life. So tune in. Hey Renee, your husband? Okay. Cool. I love podcasts. Okay. So let me turn this sound off. And we are going to get started shortly. I'm glad you came back, Renee. Did you find the trucking guru on Instagram? And did you find them helpful? You came for the singing? I'm going to start jazz scatting for you guys. All right. Okay, it is time to start, ladies and gentlemen. Let me turn on the audio recorder and let's go. All right. Okay, and here we go. All right. Welcome. Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to NPL Legal Dish. This is my Monday through Thursday live broadcast where I teach business and legal concepts using pop culture and celebrity news. If you don't know who I am, if you just kind of stumbled on this broadcast or you're listening to the podcast and you're like, who's this lady? I'm Natalie Pierre-Lewis. I'm the host of the show and I'm the owner and operator of NPL Consulting LLC, a business formation firm. What that means is I help people like yourself get your business paperwork together. So things like registering your business with the state, getting your EIN numbers, your DUNS numbers, making sure you have contracts, basic brand protection strategies, hiring employees properly. I help you get all of those things accomplished. Good. I help you get all of those things accomplished. And if you're wondering why I'm qualified to help you get all of those things accomplished, I am a licensed attorney, have been one for 14 years and counting. I have started multiple businesses for myself and others, both online and offline. I've had many careers in the realms of entrepreneurship, the law, education, hospitality, and administrative support. And most important, I am very passionate about making business and legal education as accessible to everyone as possible. Not everybody has the time, the money, or the desire to go to business school or to law school, but a lot of you have amazing business ideas like my girl Renee here. She wants, to get into the dispatching business. I, put her onto the trucking guru. She found it. She's about to go binge watch. I see you, girl. All right. But yes. But y'all have amazing business ideas, and if you're going to be successful in business, there are just some things that you need to know. So that is why I am here, okay? If you would like to get in contact with me to see how we can get your dream business off the ground, I want you to do something for me. I want you to go to linktr.ee/NPL Consulting Firm. That is the only link in my bio on Instagram, and it is all over my page on Facebook. That is where you're going to be able to get in contact with me in many different ways. You can book a free 15-minute consultation if you are a first-time client. If you're not a first-time client and you still need to talk to me, I have my Talk to Me Tuesday specials where you can get a 25-minute session for $25. You can also download the free Biz Launch cheat sheet that is a prep sheet to get your dream business started in 7 days or less. And on top of that, if you are ready to jump past, the initial steps and really get your foot into entrepreneurship, you can pick up Business Startup Basics. This is my crash course in entrepreneurship. It's 4 videos and 3 ebooks that gives you all of those steps that you need to have ready to hit these business streets running, all right? And all that is available at linktr.ee/nplconsultingfirm. I also want to let you ladies know that I'm going to be speaking at a virtual conference on June 26th and 27th. It is absolutely free to attend. All you have to do is register, and you can also register using the link in my bio, linktree/nplconsultingfirm. Hello, and to be natural. All right. So now that I have shilled my wares, let's talk about the show. For those who may be new, the way that the show works is I pull stories from the news, from gossip sites, from blog sites, and I pull the ones that have lessons that we can learn as business owners, as, entrepreneurs, and we discuss them. So this is a time for you to ask questions. This is a place for you to give your commentary. As long as you are respectful, no question is off limits, okay? This is a place of learning. This is a place of welcoming. So don't be shy about participating in the conversation, all right? Yes. So I think we are ready to get started now, and I'm very excited about tonight's stories. They are very juicy and very relevant to today. So let's get started. All right. So I asked during the pre-show, I asked Brandon if he liked podcasts, and Renee, you said your husband likes podcasts too. Well, I don't think that Renee's husband or Brandon listen to this particular podcast, but if you are a person who is involved in podcasting and you're making money from your podcast, like real money, awesome. Like real money, you're going to want to listen. So there is this podcast called Call Her Daddy. And it is a raunchy podcast that is about sex and dating and life in New York City. And they have a lot of followers now. Now, after their first, after they were doing episodes for maybe about 2 months, they were signed to a podcast network called Barstool Sports, okay? And once they got with Barstool Sports, they went from about 12,000 listens to 2 million in about 2 months. And if you guys understand how podcasts work, the more people listen to your podcast, the more money you get. So my podcast, I have my podcast, whenever somebody listens to my podcast, I get a penny, right? If I get enough listens, I make $1. And if I get enough more listens, I can make $10. So that's why people want, people to listen to their podcast so they can make money off of the advertisements, right? So the 2 ladies from the Call Her Daddy podcast, their names are Sophia Franklin and Alexandra Cooper. Their podcast, they get signed to a network increases their visibility and they start growing. Not only does the podcast grow, but the popularity of the 2 hosts grow. Sophia and Alexandra have about 2 million followers apiece between them. So about 4 million together, but 2 million on their own. Okay. Now, as their star has risen, as this podcast has gotten more popular, Sophia and Alexandra, they're seeing that there are more opportunities out there, and they're, trying to get their podcast to another network, maybe get it on Spotify, or they're looking into book deals, right? Here's the problem. Sophia and Alexandra don't own the trademark to the podcast name Call Her Daddy. So if they leave the Barstool Sports podcast network, they would totally have to change the name of their podcast. Not only the name of their podcast, they have developed, certain phrases that are inherent to the show, and Barstool Sports has either already trademarked those phrases or is in the process of trademarking it. So along with the name of the show, Call Her Daddy, they also have a hashtag called Daddy Gang. They have a hashtag called Free the Fathers, another one called Cancel Suit Man, and one called Wednesdays Are for Call Her Daddy. And all of these hashtags, these catchphrases that these ladies have developed over the show, their network either owns or is filing to own the trademarks to these phrases. This is why it's important to secure your brand protection early, to protect your intellectual property early. Yes, these ladies got snatched up real quick. Within a couple of episodes of their podcast, they got signed. And they probably didn't even know how big the podcast was going to get. But look at them now. They've got 2 million followers apiece. They have endorsement deals. They've got, book deals coming left and right. And their stars are rising. But how are they going to be able to accomplish these things if they cannot use the name of the program that gave them this platform? This is why it's important to protect your brand. Because I don't know who Sophia Franklin and Alexandra Cooper are, right? But, I may know the name of that podcast, Call Her Daddy. Now, according to the poll that I did in my stories earlier today, most of you do not listen to this podcast. I think it was like less than 15% of you who said that they listened to it. But those of you who have podcasts or are considering getting podcasts right now, you really want to think about brand protection early, because what if you get snatched up by a network, or a network, hi Alcia Bakes, a network says, hey, we really like your show and we want you to join our podcast network, and then they start filing trademarks and they own the trademark to the name of your show, right? And then if you want to go somewhere else, yeah, you can go somewhere else, but you can't take the name of your show with you. Not only that, Sophia and Alexandra, we don't know if they signed non-compete clauses, because there may have been something in their contracts that said, well, you can't do another podcast for 1 year after you leave us, or maybe you can't join another network for, a year after you leave us. We don't know what their contract particulars are, so that's another issue. But what really concerns me here is the fact that these ladies never had an opportunity to protect the intellectual property of their creation. They created this podcast. Yes, Barstool Sports definitely, launched them into the stratosphere and deserves, their cut. They took them from 12,000 listens to 2 million listens. However, what keeps people coming back is not the Barstool Sports. It is the ladies in the podcast. It is the content that they create. And frankly, they don't own the content that they create in terms of the names, because the network has already trademarked it. So this is why I stress you, protecting your intellectual property early. That Brandon guy said, so be careful naming it after yourself. Yes, especially if your podcast, what if the podcast was called Sophia and Alexandra and they can't go and use Sophia and Alexandra anywhere else, So, my question for you guys here, we know that the girls should have been thinking about protecting intellectual property in the beginning, but it was in the early stages. But do we think that Barstool Sports is doing too much here? Because they're kind of at odds right now. Barstool Sports, they want the girls to come back. They have made an offer to one of them. But Barstool Sports is not giving up these trademarks, right? So who do we think that the girls are just kind of being brats and trying to find somewhere else? Or do we think that Barstool Sports was taking advantage of two people who didn't know any better? What do you guys think about this? Because Barstool Sports picked them up after about 1, maybe 2 episodes, right? So usually in the very, very beginnings of things, most people who start podcasts, we don't know if they thought of this as a money-making, venture, but it ended up being one. And even in the course of that, they never thought about intellectual property. So who do we think? What do we think about everyone's behavior here? Now, the girls, I'm gonna cut them a little slack. They're in their, mid-20s. They're probably not thinking about trademarks. So I'm not gonna ding them for not trademarking, as soon as they started the podcast. But in terms of them trying to move to another network, do you think that is a good idea, or do you think that they should stick with Barstool Sports? Because look where Barstool Sports took them. Let me know what you think. Sincere39, do you like podcasts? Renee Plan said Barstool is seeing a cash cow. Absolutely. Absolutely. And the thing is, Barstool Sports invested in that cash cow. When you get picked up by the podcast network, you get to use their studio. You get to use their equipment. They're probably going to have an agent who's going to book you. Sincere39. So we have a story here today of these two women who started a podcast. They got signed to a podcast network early, and the podcast network trademarked all their podcast name and all of the hashtags associated with the podcast. And now the girls are trying to move to another network, but if they do, they're not going to be able to take their podcast name with them. So I was telling everybody that this is a prime example of why it's important to protect your intellectual property early. So just, word to the wise guys, if you're out here putting great content out there in the world, you're going to want to think about protecting it, okay? All right, so let's move on to our next story because we actually have a lot to cover tonight. As you can see, the title of tonight's show is called "You Can Have Alimony, but Not My Business Name," okay? And this has to do, this is a twofold thing. This is about licensing, and this is about the importance of contracts. Whenever I have couples who come to me and tell me that they want to start a business together, I always stress that you should have a partnership agreement, because y'all are in love today, but you don't know what's going to happen 1, 2, 3 years, 3 months down the road. We have people who are filing for divorce 1 week into quarantine, right? So if you are going into business with your significant other, be they your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, your wife, your life partner. Oh, awesome. I'm glad, Renee. Whatever they, however you refer to that significant other in your life, you need a partnership agreement. I had a client of mine who ran an entire business, an entire store with their significant other. They were together for 3 years. There was trust there. Relationship went sour. My client got locked out of all of the company accounts. Their name was not on any of the paperwork, so they had no access to their business, and they had to go and sue to get access to their business again. So this is why I say you need to put it on paper. I don't care if it's your mother, your father, your husband, your priest. I don't care who it is. Put it on paper, okay? Yes. Yes, business thoughts, right? So there's this couple, Randy Zweifel and Linda Smith. They were married for a long time, right? And during their marriage, they co-owned a lawn maintenance company. So, the people who mow your lawn, do the shrubs, all this, they as a married couple, they own this business together, right? But, as things happen, they got divorced. And in the divorce settlement, Randy, the husband, he got to keep the business. So the business was his to keep, but he gave his ex-wife a license to start her own lawn maintenance business, and she could use, the name of his business, for a certain amount of time. So the name of the company was called Lawn Managers. So Randy, he said, "Look, Linda, we ain't married no more. I don't really like you like that. But, I want you to be out there making your money so you can go start your own lawn maintenance business. And you can use our company name, Lawn Managers, but you can only use it for a specified amount of time." So he gave her a license to use the trademark business name. Linda said, "Cool, I'm going to take that." But when the license ran out, Linda kept using the name. So Randy has filed a trademark infringement suit against his ex-wife because she continues to use the name of the business that they co-owned together while they were married. She is violating the license agreement because the license agreement is null and void. All right. So 2 lessons that we have from this story. 1, make sure you and your significant other have a partnership contract so you understand what's happening. Both of your names should be on the paperwork. You guys should have equal access to everything. Love is great, but putting it on paper is better. I don't care if you've been married for 20 years, 15 years, 40 years. Have a partnership agreement, okay? And if you do get divorced and you have a license agreement, don't violate it so your ex doesn't have to take you to court and waste your time, because you divorced them for a reason, because you didn't want to see them. Why violate the license agreement? You got to go see this person you don't even like anymore. All right. Okay. So we good on that. We're going to have partnership agreements with our significant others. If give me a thumbs up. I want to make sure that we all understand that lesson. If you're going to go into business with someone that you are romantically involved with, I want y'all to promise me that you will have a partnership agreement. Give me them thumbs up before we move on to the next story. And I tell y'all how my heart was broken. Heartbroken. Come on. Oh, I need to see some thumbs up, because y'all are going to be out here crying. Thank you, that Brandon guy, because your significant other ran off with the with the company funds and you can't get it. Renee Plan said, I just met you yesterday and I'm loving this session. Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah, you are always welcome back, my dear. All right. Thank you for the thumbs up, everybody. Okay. So, next story. Before we move on to the next story, I want to remind you that you are watching NPL Legal Dish. This is my Monday through Thursday live broadcast where I teach business and legal concepts using pop culture and celebrity news. I am a business formation attorney. If you have a dream business that is in your head and you want to get it in this world, go to linktr.ee/NPL Consulting Firm and get yourself a free 15-minute consultation, okay? And Zanubu, okay, Renee, all right. Okay, yes, go to linktr.ee/NPL Consulting Firm. Book your free 15-minute consult. Get with your girl. I know what I'm doing, okay? All right. Next story that we are talking about. Ladies, if you like Idris Elba, if you know who Idris Elba is, if you think he's a fine chocolate man, give me an IE in the... Actually, no, give me the eye emojis in the comments. You know them side eye emojis? If you know who Idris Elba is and you think he's a good-looking man, give me the side eye emoji. The side eye... Okay, why you do that? Oh yes, and they run with a new. Taking all your money and running with a new boo. No, thank you. All right, but we're moving on. We have left the old and we are moving on to better. If you know who Idris Elba is, and yes, thank you for the side eyes, Renee Plans. Okay, I think Idris Elba is a very handsome man. Unfortunately, he broke my heart and married that lady whose name I don't know, and I refuse to learn. But whatever, I will wait for you, Idris. I am just kidding. Anyway, we know that Idris Elba, he married his longtime girlfriend a couple of years ago, and they're going strong. They seem to have a really great relationship, so much so that they have gone into business together. Idris Elba has trademarked his name for a line of health and beauty items with his wife. If you didn't know, Idris has a lifestyle brand called Sable Labs. He also has a podcast called Coupledom. And so him and his wife, thank you, Violet Owl Creations, with the chocolate bar too. They're doing a lot of business together, and they are now venturing out into the health and beauty products. How many of y'all would put an Idris Elba body product all over your body? If Idris Elba's name was on a body product, like, a lotion or some type of, skincare, whatever, a body rub, body oil, whatever. If Idris Elba's name was on it, how many of y'all would get it? Would you put it all over your body? If you would, give me a 1. If you would not, give me a 2. All right. Yes. So, not so sure. Okay, Sincere. I understand. Maybe Idris Elba ain't your style. That's cool. And that's fine. That's all right. Thank you, Alicia Wood. That's right, Alicia. High five. Okay. So Idris Elba has lent his name to this line of health and beauty products. But I want you to see the power of putting a name behind something, right? No, well, it's coming out, Renee. It's not out yet. They have just filed the trademarks in the UK, not in the United States, because they live over in the UK. Thank you, Val. Look, all the ladies will put an Idris Elba Idris Elba product all over their body, okay? But yes, so this is the power of putting a well-known name on something. Look at the women here, because we love Idris. We know that he looked good. Because he puts his name on something, that lends clout to his products. That makes us more likely to check it out. And him and his wife, they bring it in that bag. She said, yes, y'all can lust after my husband, but I know that you still gonna buy our stuff with his name on it, and he gonna bring that money home to me. Okay, so this is a story about the power of branding. Idris Elba, he reaches across a lot of spectrums, and he has a lot of people who like his work. So he can do things like this and venture out into products that you wouldn't necessarily think that he has. We know that he does music. Apparently he's a DJ. But I didn't know that he was getting into the health and beauty industry. But now that I know, I'm going to be checking for those things and seeing what they come out with, because hopefully it's something good, right? Hi, All About Wisdom 365. But I want to wish good luck to Idris and his wife, whose name I will not learn. But we wish them well with their Idris Elba body products. I have been wonderful. Thank you. All right. So now we got two more stories, and I want to get through these stories because it's Thursday and I don't want to hold these over till Monday. Okay. So we got two more stories. Our next story, it has been a while since I have heard anything about the Kardashians, and frankly, I was glad for the break. But we have a story about a Kardashian Jenner today, okay? How many of you guys saw the documentaries for Fyre Fest, the one on Netflix and the one on Hulu? If any of you saw the documentary for Fyre Fest, give me the fire emoji. For those of you who did not and you don't know what Fyre Fest is, Fyre Fest was supposed to be this amazing concert with all these acts that was organized with Ja Rule and some guy named Billy McFarland. Thank you, Sincere39. But it ended up being a big hoax. All of these rich people were stuck on an island with no food, no running water. It was a mess. So much so that they did a documentary on it. It was supposed to be this big thing, and they had influencers, promoting it, including Kendall Jenner. Kendall Jenner was paid $250,000 to tell people that to promote this Fyre Festival, right? What she didn't tell people was that she wasn't going to be there, right? And a lot of the influencers who were paid to promote Fyre Fest, they have been sued for false advertisement, because when you are paid by a brand to promote their product, especially on social media, you are supposed to disclose that this is an ad, that you are being paid to do this. And Kendall Jenner did not do that. Thank you, Violet Owl, for the fire emojis, right? So Kendall Jenner has been sued along with other influencers, and Kendall, she's like, look, I'm tired of hearing about this Fyre Fest thing. I want this thing to go away. So Kendall Jenner is going to fork over $90,000 just to make this thing go away. $90,000. Okay. Now, granted, she did get paid $250,000, but why I bring this story up is that lending your name out to a product, a brand, a service, that is a big thing, especially if people trust you. If you are an influencer, that means you have a following. People trust what you say. They're going to think that whatever you promote, that is, that's the place to be, or the thing to buy, or, the service to get. So if you are an influencer, especially one with a following like Kendall Jenner, and you're telling people, hey, I'm going to be at Fyre Fest, and you don't show up, and Fyre Fest ends up being a fraud, and you didn't tell people that you were paid to say that you're going to Fyre Fest, that puts you in a bit of liability, because you have a responsibility as an influencer. So, because of this, Kendall Jenner has to fork over $90,000 to settle her false advertisement lawsuit having to do with this Fyre Fest. So the moral of this story is, be careful where you put your name. And if you are going to be advertising for a company, especially on social media, you need to let people know. Because if you're an influencer and people, they trust your judgment. All right. So I know a lot of you out here, your followings are going to get big. Your followings might be big now. Sincere39 said that's like 90 cents to her. Either way, look, and maybe I come from the other side of money, but whether I'm rich, whether I have millions of dollars or not, I don't want to give you money because of something to say that I did something wrong. She's basically saying, yeah, my bad, I'm sorry, can you please leave me alone? This is hush money, $90,000. I'd rather keep that $90,000 and buy me a condo or something, or whatever. What does $90,000? I don't know. Anyway, she could have kept that $90,000 and bought herself a dress or something. Now she got to pay it to some stranger. It might be 90 cents to her, but that might not be 90 cents to the next influencer who promotes a product or a service or an event and gets sued for liability because they didn't disclose that it was an ad. It might be 90 cents to Kendall Jenner, but it might not be 90 cents to the influencer who's just making rent, right? Okay. And the last story that we are talking about has to do about my Instagram boutiques. I know a lot of y'all have Instagram boutiques, and particularly swimwear. There is one swimwear boutique that I enjoy going on their website and seeing the stuff that they have. Hi, Jabal Sherd. There is an Instagram store called, well, they have a website too, called Icon Swim. If you have heard of Icon Swim, give me a swimsuit emoji. Icon Swim, okay? Icon Swim, obviously they sell swimsuits for all seasons. They're lovely styles, and they are very popular. They have a lot of, Renee Plan said, why do I feel like I'm going to be successful and rich just by listening to you? That really makes me feel good. Thank you. But yes, so Icon Swim, they have, a really great online presence. They have millions of followers. I love going on their website. I haven't bought anything because have you seen outside? Like it's not even warm. It's cold. I would really like to be at a pool at some point this summer. Please, God. But we don't know what's going to happen. Anyway, Icon Swim, they sell swimsuits, and Lord willing, if they let us outside, I'm going to order me an Icon Swim swimsuit and go to the pool when it's safe. Okay? But today I was on their page, and there is a company, like, we know this happens all the time. People will make fake Instagram pages for businesses and try and scam you. But not only is there another, a scam company out here trying to, not trying to, but is pretending to be Icon Swim. They even show up in the ads when you do a Google search for Icon Swim. They're like the first ones, right? So me being the nosy nerd that I am, I was like, well, maybe Icon Swim can file a trademark infringement suit against this sham company. But when I did my search on the USPTO website, ladies and gentlemen, if you ever want to know if something is trademarked, hi, baby Jazz, go to the USPTO website. They have something called the TESS database search, TESS, and you can find out if something is trademarked. So I went to the TESS database and I put in Icon Swim, and there is no trademark available for Icon Swim. So this store, this swim online store that has millions of followers, if not thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of customers, has not protected their intellectual property, right? Yes, TESS, Brandon. This company that probably makes millions of dollars off their products has not protected their intellectual property. They don't have a trademark. So how are they going to go after this company that is pretending to be them on the internet? What do you think their options are? What do you think? Because they don't have a trademark. What are their other options? We've been doing this show for a while, so I feel like y'all can come up with at least one alternative that Icon Swim might have to go after this fake swim store that is using their logo, that took their pictures and basically created an identical website. So y'all who like to buy your bathing suits online, make sure you go to iconswim.com, not iconswim.us, okay? But yes, so what do you, if they don't have a trademark, what other kind of legal filing could Icon Swim bring against this fake store? I'm going to give y'all like 10 more seconds to come up with an option, okay? We're going to count down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay. So when I was thinking about it, I said, the next thing, if they don't have a trademark, maybe somebody copyrighted their logo, because they do have a very distinctive logo. If you cannot name, I'm talking about the type of protection. So they don't have a trademark. So their next best bet, in my opinion, is if they have a copyright. So they do have a very distinctive logo. It may not be protected as a trademark, but maybe someone drew it up and maybe they have the forethought to file that drawing with the Copyright Office. Yes, Shonda Base. Yes, copyright. All right. So, but we don't know if they have that. So I just saw this on their Instagram page today. I'm going to keep an eye on it and see what happens with Icon Swim. But this is why it's important to protect your intellectual property. Because Icon Swim, they can't go and file a trademark infringement suit right now because they don't have a trademark. And they make a lot of money. Yes, you were, Shonda. That's right. You've been listening. Thank you. But yes. A company as popular as Icon Swim is not out here protecting their intellectual property, and I don't fault them. Like I said, the barrier of entry to business is very low now. So you have a lot of people who have great business ideas but don't know what it really takes to run a business and just out here making money, not knowing, that somebody's out here checking for them. I don't care how small you are. I don't care how big you are. You need to protect your intellectual property. A lot of you out here have amazing ideas, and if you're not careful, you're going to get it stolen by a larger company with more money than you that can tie you up in litigation. So save yourself the money, save yourself the time, save yourself the heartache, and make sure that you protect your intellectual property. That means copyrights. That means trademarks. That means patents. And if you need help with any of those, that is something that I can help you with. Make sure you book your free 15-minute consultation. Go to linktr.ee/nplconsultingfirm. All right? So we done. Okay? We're 3 minutes over, but that's okay. I'm going to do a couple minutes Q&A. Give y'all some time. We covered a lot of stories today. We talked about the podcast and, them not trademarking their podcast name. And now if they leave, they can't take their podcast name. We talked about the divorced couple that was having issues because the ex-wife kept using the business name after her license was over. We had Idris Elba out here just, stabbing me in the heart, opening businesses with his wife. We had Kendall Jenner paying people not Highsmith Legal Solutions. Kendall Jenner paying $90,000 so people will stop bothering her about Firefest. And we got Icon Swim out here trying to defend their honor in these internet streets. Ladies, and gentlemen, just because Corona is around doesn't mean that intellectual property is dead. In fact, it is more alive than ever. It is very important for you to protect your intellectual property because people are out here stealing. All right. I want you, we got Smith Legal Solutions in here. She's a trademark attorney. Go check her out as well. Because what I do, I don't do what she does. She does all that magic for you. What I do is I help you understand the process. Okay. But yes, those are the stories that I had for you today. If you have any questions about the stories that I had, let me know. We can talk about them. I'll give y'all like 2 more minutes. We're going to be back here on Monday with more stories. As many as I can find over the weekend. I'm going to do my best. Also, Monday is my dad's birthday, so y'all got to be here so y'all can be here to wish him a happy birthday, okay? My birthday is on Tuesday. I don't know if I'm going to be broadcasting on my birthday. Just give myself a free day, but we will see what happens, how I feel on my birthday. Okay. But, thank you guys as always for participating. Thank you guys as always for just being here, your energy. I really appreciate it. I love that I can help you guys, understand the different aspects of business that you need to understand. Renee just made me so happy. Yes, I am. Renee, all of my lives, I keep them up on Facebook permanently. And now because you got to tell me, okay, well, maybe I'll pop up for a little bit on Tuesday. Also, because of the way that Instagram has changed now, they store your videos on Instagram, so you can watch the videos on Instagram. But I also have a YouTube channel where you can find literally every broadcast I have ever done. There are over 100 broadcasts on my YouTube channel. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel if you go to linktr.ee/nplconsultingfirm. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can watch everything I've ever done from the beginning when the lighting was bad. Everything, okay? But that is what I'm going to leave y'all with. Have a wonderful weekend. Have a safe Memorial Day weekend. Please stay inside or at least stay away from people. I know if it's nice where you are, you're going to want to be outside, but at least just social distance. Keep 6 feet between you. We can't keep you inside, but you can at least leave some space, okay? Take care of yourselves, and I will see y'all on Monday, okay? Bye-bye.